For those who prefer Linux or are simply curious about Linux and other open source technologies, this is Category 5 Technology TV.
Welcome to Category 5 Technology TV, episode number 278 for Tuesday, the 15th of January, 2013.
Wow, I think I've missed about 5 episodes.
Oh,
Hey, good to be here.
how you been, buddy?
I am well.
Yeah.
I am well.
Yeah?
Good thing you didn't catch me last week. I had the cold thing going on.
I love that just slight hesitation there. I was just like, he's not going to say it, is he? The cold.
The cold.
Nice to see you, and nice to see you if you're watching on YouTube as well. Tonight, we are broadcasting for the first time ever live.
I'm going to go to YouTube.
Through YouTube. Yeah. It's now we've got a quick link. It's cat5.tv/YouTube if you want to get right there. Otherwise, of course, our YouTube channel is Category 5 TV without the dot. So you just lose the dot from our domain name, and you're good to go.
Okay. They're not going to do the closed captioning, I hope.
Wouldn't that be amazing?
Because no matter what you've read, I am not anti-American.
He's Eric Kidd.
I'm Eric Kidd.
I'm Robbie Ferguson. Nice to have you here. We're also on Google Plus, and we've got our community all built and ready for you to join our community, cat5.tv/G+. And we would love to have you as a part of that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Eric, we sent out a ton of prizes this week because, we've got wonderful viewers who, from all over the world, have won some prizes from our...
I guess
Christmas
Canada
New
Post
Year.
lost mine in the...
It's funny you should say that because there were some things that I ordered for Christmas gifts on December 3rd and they never arrived. So January 12th or something, the company reshipped them.
Oh.
Because they sent it through Canada Post and it never got here. Surprise!
Whoops.
Nothing against Canada Post. It's just the fact.
No, you don't say anything bad. I still depend on them.
They have hitmen.
Yes, we love them. We love Canada Post.
Canada Post is spectacular.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Hey, what do we got coming up, Eric?
Well, I'll tell you, coming up in the newsroom, Apple's shares fall in light of lower iPhone 5 sales expectations for the first quarter of 2013. I actually wrote a check the other day, and I wrote 2012 and had to scratch it and initial it. There's a new pill-sized imaging device can help doctors detect a precancerous condition much earlier than existing techniques. Firefox.
Whoever is sending Eric a text right now.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
later, please. I may turn the wireless off in a second.
Yeah.
Firefox OS-based smartphones are coming this year to the low-end market. Wow. And it looks like it's time to say goodbye to Windows Messenger. Stick around for these stories and others coming up later in the show.
Hey, that's big news. Okay, what else have we got coming up? We are going to be giving away another prize, and tonight it's a big one.
A big one.
How much do you pay for your phone service? Like $60 a month kind of thing?
Probably.
$800 a year kind of, give or take?
A pile.
How would you like a free year of phone service?
Okay, yes. Thanks. You don't have to bother watching. He's
That's
giving
just
it
the
to me.
base service, right? We're also going to give you a free year of long distance anywhere in Canada or the United States. So make sure you stick around. We're going to be giving that away in just a few moments' time. Also, we've got an awesome interview tonight. We are going to be talking to Gerald Setz, and he is from Austria and going to be chatting with us about his API so that you can secure up your contact registration forms on your website. And we're going to show you how that is done. We do have to take a really quick break. Gerald, I know, is standing by. Gerald, we're going to come right to you in just a few moments' time, and we will be right back.
That was with a hard G, not a soft G. Come on.
Gerald, yes.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you. Sorry.
Sure. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here.
He's the one laughing on the other end of the line. Yeah. We're going to be back with Gerald right after the break.
At Eco Alkalines, we believe you should be able to trust your batteries not just here, but here, and here. But with one exception, you should also be able to trust your batteries here. Eco Alkalines are the world's first and only certified carbon-neutral battery manufactured to the highest standards of recycling and quality, without any trace amounts of harmful chemicals like mercury, lead, or cadmium. Eco Alkalines provide performance that rivals leading national alkaline battery brands at a comparable price. Find out more about the Eco Alkalines difference. EcoAlkalines.com.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. Welcome back, and we can be found at category5.tv. Tonight, we're going to be looking at some things from a coder perspective, which I think is going to be a lot of fun for us. For you as viewers. I mean, hey, stick around. We've got prizes for you and some fun stuff to learn as well. But we're here with Gerald Setz, and Gerald is joining us from Austria. Gerald, it's fantastic having you on the show. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Yes, thanks for inviting me.
The reason that we've got Gerald here with us tonight is we're going to be looking a little bit later in the show. We're going to be securing up or making a little better a contact form, or when you create in PHP a form that allows people to register or download a trial version of software from your website. Sometimes, there's this thing called 10-minute mailers and those disposable email accounts that can be a real headache for people who are, creating registration systems and things. They're good for you as a user because you like to protect yourself. You like to keep yourself kind of anonymous, right?
Yes.
But for somebody who is selling or creating a service and needs to be able to send you information or let you know that there's a discount on the product or something down the road, it's important that you give a real email address to those people. I'll give you an example. Here at Category 5 Technology TV, we love for you to register on our website. That's important. The reason for that is it allows us to incorporate viewer points and things like that, ways that we can create incentive programs. And we can also, what can we do? We can email you when you win a prize.
I never get any emails like that.
A couple of you have received emails like that this week. Hey, I give you stuff.
Yeah.
Have a pen.
I've got a cold cup of coffee here. It's great. Thanks.
With these 10-minute mailers, they're handy because sometimes you want to sign up for something that you're not too sure is legitimate. But when you're sure that something is legitimate, it's important to use a real email address because that company may need to contact you. Category 5 is one example. You know that we're trustworthy, we've got our privacy policy, and we're not going to give out your email address. Another example is that I sell software as part of my profession, and we do offer a free trial that people can download, and it's important for us to be able to do that because I want you to evaluate our software, and I want you to be able to say, you know what, this is good software, I want to actually use this, I want to purchase it. So when you go through the trial process, I say in the form, I need your email address because I need to be able to contact you when your trial is coming due. I need to be able to say, here's a link, all you have to do is click this link, I'm going to give you 10% off, and you're going to be flying with a full version of that software. So if you use a 10-minute mailer, you get the trial. But then when I try to email you back and say, okay, now I need to follow up, you've only got a 30-day trial, it's going to expire in 10 days, all of a sudden,
there you are, unreachable.
My hands are tied. I can't help it. I can't hook you up. You're going to go onto Google, you're going to try to find somewhere else to purchase it, and you're going to buy it through someone else, and I've lost money even though you came to me first. So it's not really fair, is it? So it's sometimes about the loss of money. When you're a programmer, you build a site and you say, I need to collect this email address for a reason. There's a reason that I'm collecting your email address. I'm committed as a broadcaster and as a web designer. I'll use the phrase webmaster just because I want to use it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Blast from the past. So let's say I'm your webmaster and I need to collect that email address because it's important for me to be able
master.
to... Yeah. It's important for me to be able to contact you when need be. So that email address is part of that process. And it's also part of a handshake agreement when you sign up for things that, hey, you are a legitimate person, right. A real person. And so there's a flip side to this. As a programmer, we recognize that most of the time, and Gerald, you may know even better than myself, but it seems that a lot of the time if I get subscriptions and trial downloads from 10-minute mailer email addresses, a lot of the time these aren't legitimate users. These are people who want to take something and not be a part of anything. They're maybe downloading a trial. I've even seen it where people will download a trial and sell it, and then they've basically sold a trial version of software using a 10-minute mailer, and I can't contact them. I can't issue licenses or anything. So I think that becomes a big problem as well. So that's the flip side. Not only do we need your email for the service and for the product, but also I think it can be a red flag for us. Is that not true? It can be a red flag for us as programmers that if it's coming from an illegitimate email source, we know that it's quite likely that this person is trying to defraud us or scam us out of something that is rightfully ours, our money or
your money, and the fact that you're offering a service and you expect to be able to get legit contact information from somebody, and you're assuring them that you're not using it for to get them on any spam lists or anything.
That's the thing. And that's why
they want that kind of an assurance out of you.
You can trust the companies that you're giving that email address to. So when you give your email address to Category 5, you know that you can trust it. I'll get Eric. I'll get you to bring up the chat room in case there's any feedback from the chat room. Other reasons that you may want to give your email address out. And Gerald, I'm going to throw it over to you because what Gerald has created is something that is just an awesome add-on for any web developer who's concerned about this particular issue. And it doesn't concern everybody. I mean, it really concerns those who legitimately need that email address in order to either turn a profit or to be able to contact that user. In our case, it can fill our database. There is that. There's spiders and bots that go out onto the web and subscribe, register, using these fake email addresses. And here's one way that we can weed them out is through Gerald's API. So Gerald, it is fantastic having you on the show. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'll let you kind of introduce yourself and what it is that you've created and what brought that about.
Yeah, thanks, Robbie, for inviting me. I'm really excited to contribute to your show, to the show number 278, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
So it seems that you're pretty successful with your show and with your colleagues. It's nice to be invited in such a show. You already mentioned that my name is Gerald, and I think the main reason to be here today is to introduce you a little bit to what I created. And I would say everything you said before, you mentioned before about disposable email addresses is completely right. If someone uses disposable email to subscribe somewhere, then you can't be sure, where I would say at least 99% that this will not be a user that will use your service in a way that it is meant to use, and that it will become, for example, an paying user. It's relatively hard to find out if someone subscribed with a disposable email domain. Why it's complicated? Basically, it's complicated because there are a lot of different domains out there. For example, if you use a very popular service like mailinator.com, there are more than 300, maybe about 1,000 domains that you could use to use this mailinator service. Yeah. And as an ordinary user, as an ordinary webmaster, to be in your connotation, and using your words, is that the problem is that you simply do not find it out. You cannot find out usually by yourself if a domain is legitimated or not, because you need a response in the same second as a subscriber wants to be subscribed to your service, and that means that you need to have a lot of domains checked before.
Right, and I'll be honest, Gerald, I have tried it. I created something that I scripted a long time ago and tried to continually be putting in these mailinators and 10-minute mails and all these things. And so every time a new one would spawn up, I would add them to the list as a bad list, right?
That's right.
They keep popping up. There's a new one every day, it seems. Like, it seems as soon as I think I've got them all, somebody just goes and finds another one that they can use to get into my service without a legitimate email address. So how do you propose, or how does your company propose to solve that problem for the web designer? Or we'll call him the webmaster.
Okay. So my proposal is really to use this API. The reason is to have as you mentioned, to having a local blacklist. You will always be a step behind your users or your spammers. If we do it with this centralized API, where I collect or my colleagues are collecting the domains and checking the domains to be sure not to have any wrong entry, any false positive in this list, I think it's really the easiest way for any webmaster. Because to be honest, blocking disposable email addresses is usually not the main work of a webmaster. There are other things they have to do, and that's why I think this is really a very small part of should be a very small part of the daily work of a webmaster, and that's why I propose not to start using a local blacklist. While if you like to do, why not? You can have a local blacklist and check only against my service if the used domain is not in a list at the moment.
Point. A couple of interesting points there, Gerald. You mentioned about spam, and I thought, that's another legitimate reason that people use 10-minute mailers is because they want to register for a forum, for example, or a message board, and they don't want to give out their real information because they're going to say something nasty. So they use one of those fake email addresses, and they can subscribe. They authorize it, and then it disappears. Say their nasty thing, and so that's another good example. And interesting to say, you could control through your own local list and your own local kind of checks, and then if everything checks out, throw it over to your service and say, okay, well, now what do you say about it? So on your end, who is it that do you have a slew of programmers that are sitting there finding all these websites? How is it that your service is able to find all these new 10-minute mailers as they pop up?
Now, first of all, I have a huge list of domains currently. So I already checked approximately 10 million different and frequently used domains. This is one huge benefit compared to let's say, to an ordinary webmaster, because if you look at your, for example, at your hit rate of your service, you will find out that there are some domains that are used frequently, like gmail.com, yahoo.com, and all the subdomains of yahoo.com, like yahoo.co.in, for example, or .ca.
Yeah.
But there are also a lot of, and I would say it's approximately at least 70 or 80% on most sites, and that you find out that you never have seen the domain before. So you need to find out really in this second if this is legitimated or not. So one benefit of my of this centralized API is that I know a lot of domains, and I had the chance already to check if the domain is legitimated or not. And I do it on several ways. At the end, every single domain that is flagged from my analyzing service as possibly a disposable email domain service domain that provides such services, then I look to it manually and add it to the blacklist, or say, okay, no, this was happened mistakenly by my analyzing services, and this is a legitimate domain. Okay. Because what I always really try to avoid is to have any false positive in a list, because nobody wants to block legitimate user mistakenly.
Right.
So this is one point of quality that's really good on our side, I would say.
So for you to be able to receive these domains and to be able to see, now you mentioned that in order to determine whether a domain is legitimate or not, you're seeing what your system spews out to you as being, it's already weeded through all the domains that have been sent to you that day and says, okay, these are the ones that I think might be illegitimate. So then you have to manually go through and say, yeah, that one is bad, that one's bad, that one's okay.
That's right.
Right? So everything, it sounds like everything has happened transparently already by the time my site ever sees that email domain. But it makes me wonder, for the viewer's sake, what is in place as far as privacy? Am I sending you email addresses as they are being processed, or what happens there?
No, I'm really not interested in collecting any email addresses. The only thing I'm interested in is collecting domain names. So my service does not ask you for submitting email addresses. I only want to see the domain, and you will also not get a correct answer if you submit email addresses. So you get an error message that this is not not really formatted as a domain. So yeah. I just want to collect domains.
Right. Okay.
If I see the domain or if my API sees the domain for the first time, you get an OK response so that we do not block it, and then after a couple of minutes it will be analyzed and then checked manually. In addition,
that's good to know. So if you're unsure, if the system is unsure, it will still allow that one through. So it may happen once in a while that I'll get a false negative. But in so doing, you're basically eliminating the chance for false positives.
That's right. So this is not. It's really a blacklist kind of answering, not a whitelisting, because a whitelisting will not make any sense.
Right. Now, some people in the chat room I saw there are wondering about the technology, the underlying technology, how we connect to this service. We're going to be looking at it a little bit later on, but we can certainly touch on the fact that we are using, JSON and PHP serialized arrays. You're able to return as plain text, I understand, as well. So really, it's an all-round solution that we can use for any kind of service. Is that right?
Yes, you can use it for any kind of services, and if it really be the case that you need, for example, an XML response, and I do not have implemented it yet, it's only a matter of some days to implement it, because the underlying database is already there. So it's only kind of how to format and how to hand over the information to my users. That's it.
This is Category 5 Technology TV. We are talking to Gerald Setz, who is joining us from Disposable email addresses. Is it called blockdisposableemailaddresses.com with hyphens in there? But block disposable email addresses, that's what you need to know. Now, just because that's, the domain, blockdisposableemailaddresses.com with dashes and everything, hard to say. Here you go, cat5.tv/badmail. Badmail. All right, just remember that. cat5.tv/badmail. We're going to get you hooked up. And you can get basically your first 200 queries a month absolutely free. So love the model here. Now, Gerald, we'll talk a little bit about the cost of this thing, because I was mentioning to you before the show that I really like the way that you've set up your pricing, kind of, your tiered pricing, and that is, just so the viewers understand, basically your first 200 queries per month are absolutely free. So that means for small blogs, small websites, and keeping in mind that, as Gerald had mentioned, you can run your own checks first, and then if it goes through everything there, then you can send it over, and so you could have already eliminated stuff before it even gets to forwarding over to the API. But what happens is the more queries that you create, the more basically it's tiered pricing model. So because of that, it ends up that if you're just a Joe Blow user running a blog, running a news site, you can use it and it's absolutely free. And then as you start making money, because you're getting hits, and the idea is you're going to make money off of banner ads or whatever, get some Google ads in place, and you'll be able to offset that cost easily enough. So I guess we can just really send people to your website, which, as you see at the bottom, there's cat5.tv/badmail. Is what we have set up for you, Gerald.
Thanks.
For what we're talking a little bit as programmers and saying we can use PHP, we can use JSON, we can use XML responses, whatever else to get the data back from the API. What about somebody who's not a programmer? Let's say they've got a WordPress blog. I used blog as the example. What kind of options are there for them?
Yeah, there is the good news is that, for example, for WordPress, there is out-of-the-box solution already there. So you can find on my website a link to different plugins, like for WordPress, for example, that I did by myself, or we did by ourselves. Mm-hmm. But there are also some, let's say, user-contributed modules here, like for PHP BB, so for the forum software, for the very popular forum software.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. And also for Drupal, for example, for vPaladin, for Django, which is a Python interface, and some others. And the good thing is also that most of my users, if they create something, they tell me, and I put it on my website, so we can spread it around.
Very good.
And the other way to implement this, as you mentioned before, is if you're a developer, most of them are. They know how to use a JSON response, for example, how to form the query. So it should be easy for everyone to access the service and the information.
Right.
And one more thing regarding the free the 200 queries that are free per month per user.
Yeah.
You can imagine that if you have 200 queries, it means that you have 200 possible subscribers a month, and having 200 new subscribers a month is really, I would say, a huge number.
Yeah,
because you do not check against the service on every single login, but only if there are new users, and this is really a high number, I guess. Because having 200 new
if you're running like a WordPress blog and there's 200 people registering on your blog,
that's a huge number.
Does seem high, yeah. Very cool stuff.
I have a question here in the chat room.
Yeah, what's up?
Is the API using SPF and or DKIM?
That'd be a question for you, Gerald.
Question for me, but let me see. SPF or DKIM? No, it's not using it because. So SPF is a technology. I don't know if everybody knows, but SPF is a technology. It's a sender policy framework. It's the name for it, and it's usually to find out if a particular IP address of a mail server is allowed and legitimate to send emails with a particular domain. So this is not what I do because this is not the focus. So I really focus only on detecting disposable email addresses. Right. This is the only thing.
And that kind of brings us to where we were.
So it's not using either.
Right, but that brings us to where we were mentioning about how you would kind of create, and Gerald touched on this, you would kind of do your first, you do your own mail checks anyways, because you're not going to allow people to subscribe through email without first cleaning it up anyways and making sure that it's good to go, and then send the query over to this API system, and that's when you get that response back. So really it's an additional thing. We're going to I'll just mention, Gerald, that tonight we're going to have something new to add to your website, because we're going to be taking a script. We're going to be using the new Easy API, and with that particular API, we're going to be able to create something in PHP that's going to allow you to add this to your PHP site. So if you're a bit of a developer, or if you just know a little bit about PHP and you want to learn how to do that, we're going to be doing that tonight, and that'll be something that you can add to your site if you like, Gerald. And that is going to show you a little bit about how we've already done a little bit of processing anyways, using PHP's built-in syntax checks and things like that. And then we're saying, okay, yeah, it passes all these checks. Now we're going to throw it over to Gerald's system and see what his system says, whether or not this is a 1-minute mailer or disposable email account of some kind. All right?
Mm-hmm.
So if there are any questions, of course, get us in the chat room. I know this is pretty new to a lot of you. And we'll be very excited to field those for you this just after the feature tonight. So.
After the feature.
Well, we're going to be looking at it very, very shortly. Gerald, really appreciate your time tonight. Love your service. Love what you're doing. I think it takes what I do, which is try to weed out the malicious and fake and script bot users and get them away from my database and focus on the real users who want to subscribe to my services. And I think that what you're doing really, really helps to be able to do that effectively. And so we thank you for that. What you're doing is great. The API performs very well, and we're excited about it. So I'm happy to have you on the show tonight. We're happy to be able to support you in that way as well. So.
Yeah, thanks again for invitation. Thanks for the positive feedback. It's always good to hear. And what's really exciting is that if I look to our user base, it's really nice to see that the service is used worldwide. In the meanwhile, like from Canada, like from the US, from different countries in Asia, from Africa, from all the northern countries like Sweden, Norway, and also the interesting thing is to see who really uses it, not only the country where the queries are originating from, but also to see for what what different services are out there, and I never imagined what services have this high number of queries and the need not to have illegitimate users. So it's really interesting to see. If you look at my website, I have I think you have already seen a short presentation, I think in 8 slides, which is hosted by SlideShare, where I listed some branches, some industries that are using the service just to get an idea who could need it. So it's really nice to see that this project is spread all over the world in the meanwhile.
And it's what a kudos to you to have created something that people all over the world are saying, you know what, we needed this. You're doing a great job of it. You're making it happen, and it works. And it's cutting down on the spam on our website. So thank you very much. And again, an encouragement for our viewers, check out that website at the bottom, just below Gerald there, cat5.tv/badmail. And when you go to that website, check out the presentation that he mentions, and also some of the API examples and all that kind of stuff. Gerald, thank you for being here on the show, and have yourself a great night.
See you later.
Yeah.
Take care. This is Category 5 Technology TV. I'm your host, Robbie Ferguson. Thanks for joining us tonight. Eric Kidd.
Hey, I'm Eric Kidd.
Man.
And this is Category5.tv, and it's a member of the Tech Podcast Network. If it's tech, it's here. And the International Association of Internet Broadcasters. So what do you think? Time for news?
Take it away.
Let's do the news. Here are the top stories from the Category 5 TV newsroom. Shares in Apple have fallen 3.5% after reports suggesting that orders for the iPhone 5 have been lower than expected. Since it released the iPhone 5 in September, Apple is reported to have cut its orders in half for the display panel featured on the phone for the January to March quarter. The reports seem to be confirming that demand for the iPhone has fallen in the wake of increased competition. Doctors have made a pill-sized device that can take detailed microscopic images of inside the gullet. It is hoped the U.S. technology could become an easier way of screening people for a condition called Barrett's esophagus, which can lead to cancer. Unlike current imaging techniques, the device can be used while the patient is conscious. It takes only a few minutes and is said to take some of the best images ever seen for this purpose. The hope is that the device could help doctors work out who is at risk and detect cancers at a potentially more treatable stage. Smartphones developed by the creators of the Firefox web browser are expected to be launched in Europe in 2013. Chinese phone equipment maker ZTE said it was working with a European wireless carrier to sell Mozilla's Firefox OS-powered phones. ZTE chief executive Cheng Lixin...
Sounds right.
Yeah, I'll go with that for now. Also said the phones could be marketed in the U.S. this year. When finished, the phones will compete with Google's Android, but only at the lower end of the smartphone market.
That's interesting. I had wondered with some of the announcements that are going on with regards to Linux making its way to smartphones with Ubuntu and with Mozilla. Where did that leave Mozilla? Because they had just made the announcement, and then Ubuntu comes out, and Ubuntu's a big player, so it's where was that going to leave them? It sounds like it's a different level of
going for a different market. Sure,
going for the lower end market, which is very cool. I thought Linux on the mobile could mean lower end stuff being cheaper, being faster, being better, because it's cheaper because there aren't the licensing and the patents and all that kind of stuff to deal with. So could be real promising.
All right.
I'm excited about what we're going to see.
Microsoft is switching off its Windows Live Messenger service on the 15th of March.
Oh,
well,
I still use MSN like crazy from Pigeon, but I still use it.
On that date, Messenger logins will no longer work and users must turn to Skype, said Microsoft in an email sent to all Messenger users. The email also encouraged users to update to Skype and familiarize themselves with the service before the switch off. The service switch is a consequence of Microsoft's acquisition of Skype in October 2011 for $8.5 billion. I don't know what that's... Oh, it's in dollars. You can get the full stories at Category5.tv Newsroom. The Category5.tv Newsroom is researched by Roy W. Nash with contributions by our community of viewers. If you have a news story that you think is worthy of on-air mention, email newsroom@Category5.tv. For the Category5.tv Newsroom, I'm Eric Kidd.
Thanks, Eric. Tonight's show is brought to you in part by Cordery Electric. You find them at www.corderyelectric.com. Also, Netflix, get your free 1-month trial of Netflix at cat5.tv/Netflix. And I promised it, we've got something to give away for you tonight. A 1-year phone service from NetTalk Duo Wi-Fi. We've got this device to send over to you.
Thank you so much.
I was going to send it to you, folks.
Okay, fine.
Can I just
be
grab
like
this
that.
a second just so I can show them this? This is cool stuff. All right, we're going to be reviewing this on an upcoming show, but just to give you a quick idea, it is just basically a little phone box that you connect to your internet. Thanks, Spock. You connect it to your internet, you connect it to your telephone. This particular model, NetTalk Duo Wi-Fi, as you can imagine, supports Wi-Fi. So it connects to your Wi-Fi network. You just, you put it on wherever, plug it into your phone. It becomes a phone jack.
Wow.
And it connects you to the phone system through the internet. You can call anywhere in Canada or the United States absolutely free. You can get a local calling number. And, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for this? Announcing it here on Category 5 tonight. It's been under embargo. It's been top secret. Now we can tell you that the NetTalk Duo Wi-Fi is able to port your Canadian phone number. So if you are currently with another service provider, you hook yourself up with NetTalk, and it, when you work it out, you pay an annual fee. It's like $30-some-odd a month. It works out to be, $3 a month, say, a little bit more than $3 a month, technically.
Okay, so
if you were to break it down, and you end up getting free long distance anywhere in Canada or the U.S. You can port your Canadian or United States phone number. So if you've got a current phone number, you can switch it to this device, and you don't have to change your phone number.
Because some of the other services were able to do that in certain areas, but not.
No, this is Canada.
Wow.
And to those in the United States, we've had porting forever. Yeah, this is new, as in today. This is news. This is Canada now has portable phone numbers because of NetTalk Duo Wi-Fi, and we can give that to you. So what I want you to do is go to cat5.tv/phone. PHONE. And when you're there,
and sign the petition saying to give that to Eric.
Sign the petition. I'm going to get a whole bunch of ballots that say, send it to Eric Kidd, send it to Eric Kidd. No, I think you want this for yourself, and I'll see what I can do.
Yes, I do.
Getting you one. We'll see what we can do. In the meantime, get over to cat5.tv/phone, cast your ballot. Next week, we're going to be giving one of those away. All right? And, it's...
That's a pretty sweet deal, mister.
Sweet deal. And
I think we ought to put this back in the box.
That looks important.
We've got English instructions.
Just to be absolutely clear, we're giving you the device, and we're giving you 1 year free service. Absolutely free, thanks to NetTalk Duo. So check out more information, cat5.tv/phone, cast your ballot, and you'll be good to go.
I'm just going on record. That's way cool.
That is awesome.
That is way cool.
Awesome stuff.
All right.
Okay, LEI Electronics Inc. are just fantastic friends of the show here at Category 5. Been good friends of the show ever since we started this program. You'll remember them. You'll know them from some of their brands: Eco Alkalines, Bag to Nature, Liquid Image Canada, the masks with the cameras. That's one of their products. Free Play human-powered devices, Ink for Dummies, Talk Buds. They've got just a ton of products. That's just to name a few. Check out their website, leiproducts.com. And when you're there, and if you have any trouble getting there, cat5.tv/eco. ECO will take you to Eco Alkalines. You can navigate their site from there. But they were at the Consumer Electronics Show last week in Las Vegas, and they sent us up. Our good friend Mark from LEI sent us up a video and just said, "Here's some clips. Just thought you guys couldn't make it to the show. Maybe some of your viewers would be interested in seeing a little bit. I mean, he's just walking around with a handheld camera, but a little bit about what the show looks like and what you can expect next year if you decide that you'd like to head down to the Consumer Electronics Show. So we're excited to display this for you.
You're going to share that with our viewers?
We're going to share that with the viewers.
Nice.
I'm going to take a look myself as well, because it's amazing when you consider the scale of this show, the CES down in Las Vegas. It's just it's incredible. I just can't imagine the scale of this thing. So we'll just take a quick break as we take a look at the video that Mark sent us.
That's not in the budget for us to go down next year?
We'll work on that. We got a show to do. We're here every week. We never miss a show.
We could do the show from there. How cool would it be to broadcast the show from there?
It would be cool. Send your donation. Start now. Yeah. All right. We'll be right back.
Here we are at the Eco Alkaline display at CES in beautiful Las Vegas. What we have here is a brand new technology by HZO. This is a micro film put on an iPad or an iPhone, and it's guaranteed not to be harmed by water for up to 2 years. Phenomenal new product will be coming to Canada sometime in the near future. Now we're entering the Ink for Dummies booth. This is another partner with LEI, and we are currently holding the Canadian exclusive to outside vendors. And one of the most recognizable brands in the books and cooking. Here's an innovative new company, AEE, that that LEI will be looking to do some business with. These folks house cameras, point and shoot. They also have remote control cameras, do stadium footage, very similar to the drone. And there's our rep, Jackie. Their POV comes complete with all the accessories. These are Wi-Fi 1080p POV cameras. This is Eton. Oops, sorry. This is the Eton booth, and they also partner with the Red Cross. This booth is Aventry, and this is another partner with LEI. And this is a relatively new brand that we've been developing in North America, and we've just also started to launch this product line in the United States. We're now in Central Hall, and this is the Intel booth. Massive.
But if you think this is nice, these have particular products that don't want to advocate for
and the continuation of the Intel booth. Now we're at LG's booth, and this is LG Smart TV Cinema 3D. I'm going to attempt to get some video of their massive screen and see if we can get some video through the glasses. Hard to describe, but the screen's approximately 140 feet wide, and you can see the opening as people walking through the opening. I'll give you an idea of the scope and size of their display.
You go outside, like
extremely impressive. This is the latest from LG. It's OLED TV, the ultimate display. We have Ultra HD TV. This is now inside the LG booth. It's approximately 50,000 square feet of display space. For the ultimate in gaming, wireless mobile gaming in 3D. Now we move along to the appliances, and here you have smart refrigerators, all smart appliances. All can be operated with your iPhone or Android device. LG is becoming a leader in the appliance divisions. Smart washer dryer. Now we're coming up to another major booth, and that would be Panasonic. Right across from Panasonic, very impressive. Color Your World TCL. One of Panasonic's claim to fame is they pioneered and continue to promote plasma TV. Now we're inside the Samsung booth, and again it's another massive booth, about 50,000-60,000 square feet, showcasing everything from TV to wireless to sports.
Any recommendation for tonight?
Now we're back at Intel, and what we're pictured here is the Intel laptop tree.
Wow.
That is some cool stuff. The
That is
laptop
some-
tree blows my mind.
Nerdling heaven.
I'm like, how can I build a laptop tree? Already programming.
Well, do you want some of my old... I've got several dead laptops
I
at
don't
home.
think those were dead laptops.
No, they
I think
weren't.
those were top of the line.
Hey, if you're down there in Vegas at that show, send us a postcard. In fact, if you're anywhere on this planet, send us a postcard. We like postcards. You could send it to Eric. Well, you could send it to Robbie, or you could send it to the gang. But at category5.tv, Post Office Box 29009, Barrie, Ontario. And that's in Canada, L4N7W7. So,
Yeah.
send us your cards and letter. We'd really like to get them.
We do love to receive those.
We do.
We want our first card of 2013. And hey, check out our mobile site, m.cat5.tv. There it is.
M.
Scan that code. Cool stuff.
All right.
Are you ready to take a look at the API?
I'd love to.
Gerald's block disposable email addresses API. You can find out more cat5.tv/badmail. All one word. Check this out. I've created a really, really quick script for you, Eric. And we can pretend that this is anything, okay? So we're going to go Robbie Ferguson, and I'm going to, let's use my email address.
You're going to register with a
Category 5.
10-minute mailer? No.
Yeah. So notice when I click on register, it says email address is considered good. Registration will proceed. This is just a demonstration.
Okay.
Now watch this. We're going to go 10minutemail.com. We know that that's one of those disposable email address providers. Register. And even still, it says that my email address is considered good. Now, why is that?
Because they haven't been.
Well, see, I've created a thing that if somebody mistypes an email address, right, blah, 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 and clicks register, it should, if there's something wrong with that.
Okay, you've got a space there. Caught that.
Right. But it's like that one, email address is considered bad because, it's malformed, right? So I've already created some level of
validation. Yeah.
There's a validation on that email address. And let's take a quick look at how that's happening. We're just simply using PHP, and we're saying, okay, if PHP's filter var says that, hey, this is a valid email, then, hey, we can say email is considered good, right? But that's really the only check that it's doing. It's not telling me whether or not these are legitimate email addresses. It's not checking if the domain exists. It's not checking if these are 10-minute mailers or not. So let's take a quick look and see how we can actually do this. And we're going to have to jazz our way through this. They can test any email address that they like, the viewers, just because the chat room is saying, oh, test this one, test this one. You can test any one you like. I'm going to give you a copy of the script at the end of the show, so don't worry about that. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually take my script, which is a really, really simple registration script. It's just a form that, if submitted, if there's a post, it's going to say, okay, there's a couple of little, there's a strip tags on each thing so that they're not going to inject some code, and then it just checks if the email address is valid. So now let's say, okay, well, let's actually get onto the API. Let's register on the website. So we're going to bring up a web browser here. And we're going to go to that website, cat5.tv/badmail. And when we get there, we're going to actually register. Let's see how tricky Gerald has made this for us.
Don't go to badmail, M-A-L-E.
M-A-I-L, of course. cat5.tv. So I'm going to zoom in and click on sign up. And we're going to simply enter our email address. Make sure you use a real email address, folks. He'll know. And then check and subscribe. This is a good example of why you need real email addresses, because we're subscribing to an API here. So here you go. Okay, so it's asking me for some more information. My name, Robbie Ferguson. My password. Make it strong. What kind of comments do you want to send to Gerald? How about, hello, Gerald. And we'll go with that.
How is the beer in Austria?
Yeah, I'll say I heard of you. Make sure you do this, okay? I heard of your service on Category 5 TV. That would let him know. That's a good idea. So register. And this tells me, hey, check your email to activate your account. So I'll just bring up Thunderbird. I'll do the same. Whatever you're using, grab your email. And there it is. Boom. Okay, big long link. Click on that to activate. And lo and behold, we're done. From his point of view, we're registered, ready to go. So now we want to...
Now what do we do?
Well, we click on that link that says register our API key, register our server IP, to get an API key, rather. So click on that. And let's give him some information. First of all, I'm going to have to find out what my IP address is, because that's what he's asking for. It's needing me to log in again, so that's fine. Enter your password that you entered there. Okay. So that was pretty easy as far as signing up goes. Okay, register my new server. I need an IP address. So I'm going to jump into the terminal. I'm actually going to just ping my domain. Easiest thing to do, because I'm going to upload it to category5.tv. So, ping my domain, get my IP. There we go. Copy that to your clipboard, and paste it over to the script there to add the server. Okay, how many queries do you think you're going to have a month? I'm going to this is just for the sake of an example, so I'll just say 50. You can put in whatever you think it's going to be. Keep in mind that 200 are free, and beyond that. Now you just want some information. What website is this going to go on, and what are you going to be using it for? As he was saying, it's interesting to find out what people are using the script for, so might as well tell them. Here we go. We're showing this off on Category 5. So Gerald, now you know. I'm going to register this server. And... we need suspense music. Gerald, add some suspense music to the website for us. All right, there we go. We've got our API key. How fantastic is that? We're ready to go. Now I can build a script based on that. Here we go. Okay, so I can actually bring that up on my other screen here. All right, you ready?
I'm ready, willing, and able. Well,
okay, so a couple of things that we need to do. First of all, we need to connect into the API. Now I've got my API key from the previous step. Leave that open. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to first of all create a function that's going to check mail a little bit more thoroughly. So we're going to go function. This is in PHP, by the way. I'm going to call this check mail. You can call it whatever you like, and we're going to say we're going to pass along the email address to that function. So let's set our domain, and the way we're going to do that, we're going to parse the email address. So we're going to use an array pop, which is now I'm going to do this a little bit backwards. First of all, I'll explode that just so that you can see how this is working. So I'm going to go explode @ $email. So what I'm saying there is that I'm actually going to break it apart at the @ sign, so it's going to create an array. Now I'm going to array pop that so that it's only going to keep the last of the email address after the @. Okay, so now domain is actually, if I send live at category5.tv, $domain, because of this command here, is going to become category5.tv. So my key, as copied and pasted from the website, I closed Firefox. Let's go over to, let's go back to his website here, cat5.tv/bad mail.
Can I add Gerald?
Here we go. I'm going to click on sign up. There is no sign in button. Sign in and manage, it's a little bit different. I found it hard to find, but if I click on sign up, I can see log in to manage my settings. That is an easy way to get there. So log in now, and that takes me right to my server list. So there's my API key for the website that I've already created.
You don't have that memorized?
What, my IP address?
Yeah, no, the
API
key.
Now we're going to actually enter that into our script, okay? So paste that into $key. Now we're good to go. My request. Here's where things get a little bit fun, because we're actually going to be creating the JSON request to the API, and I will paste this onto the website. You don't have to do this all longhand like I'm doing. block-disposableemail.com/easy API, because I told you I'd show you that new API. We're going to use JSON. That can be JSON, that can be PHP. Read the instructions on the website. There are some examples there to show you, and I'll show you quickly where that can be found on his website. Under help and usage, you can say easy API and scroll down a little ways, and you'll see now it's not PHP. If you want serialized, it's actually going to send you, you're going to use serial or text. So JSON, serial, and text if you want to use the easy API. And of course the full PHP API also includes XML and things like that. So we're just going to use JSON. So that's where you would enter it. You would actually change that to serial if you'd like it to be a serialized array in PHP. I'm going to use JSON, and we're going to tell it what we're actually going to scan. So first of all, we need to set the key, which we already set. That's our API key. And then $domain. So we're actually sending over to Gerald service. We're saying, okay, check .blockdisposableemail.com/easyapi/json/myAPI key, which is that long string, /category5.tv. That's what we're sending. So you'll notice that because of that explode and array pop, we're not actually sending him a full email address. So you don't have to worry about your privacy. We're not sending an email address. We're only saying category5.tv. Is it good or is it bad? And it's going to respond back and tell us whether it's good or bad. So next up, we need to actually process this query. So we're gonna say, okay, we're gonna call this response and equals file get contents. That's going to use PHP to reach out to the server through our request. Okay. Now we're gonna create an object from that. So we'll call this DEA for disposable email accounts. Equals JSON decode. We're going to actually decode that response, and now we should have an actual working script that has now received the information from that service. So if I print R that, let's say I exit here. Let's go print R $. Oh, I need a return there, don't I? DEA. And let's call it. So we're going to go $. Oh, I don't need to do it. Yeah, okay. Let's go check mail. Let's do it this way. Check mail.
You got less than a minute. Hurry up.
Well, we're going to go overtime. We're going to go overtime at category5.tv. So you see what I'm doing? I'm just doing a quick test. We're going to actually print out the results of this. Now we're going to upload that to the server. Let's bring this up. You guys don't mind us going overtime, do you? So there is the result of live at category5.tv because it's a printar. It says domain status is okay. All right. So that tells me that, hey, category 5 is not flagged. Yes.
All right.
All right. So let's actually make our script do this for us. So we'll get rid of that test stuff there, the printar and the return. Sorry, Zoom kind of messes me up sometimes. There we go. Get rid of that. That was just for your sample. Okay. So we've confirmed that the object is created and working, and it's connecting out to the JSON. It's receiving the JSON object back. So now we have to actually do some processing. We're going to say, for example, we saw that that the request status was set to success. So if $DEA request status is success, then what do we want to do? Well, then we're going to do another if statement. We're going to say if, and did you notice that from our object, there's something else that's set here. It is domain status okay. Okay, so not request status, but now domain status. Is category5.tv okay? It's saying yes. So here, let's actually do something to do that. So domain status equals. Now we can do this one of two ways. Either we can start with block or okay. You can say okay. We know that that's the okay domain, but let's actually say okay. Well, the alternative to that is block. So that way, okay is kind of by default. So now this is basically access denied, right? So we're going to return false. All right. Else. So this is, well, what happens if domain status is not blocked? So now we're going to say, okay, return true. It's a good email address. So that's access granted. All right. So now we've got something that says, okay, let's go through, check the email address. If the domain status is block, return a false response. Otherwise, return true because it's not blocked. So now from there we can make it a little bit more intelligent, but basically what we want to do is we want to add that to our already existing check. See, it says if filter var email, filter validate email. Okay, so at the end of that, so if it's that and check mail $email, because we already know that $email is from post email. So now we're going to run that function and we're going to check it against that email. And now, if I haven't created any errors, if I haven't done any syntax errors as I'm talking and typing at the same time, hopefully it means that things will be good. There we go, no syntax errors, good. Robbie Ferguson, live at category5.tv. Register. It's good. Everything checks out. Live at 10minutemail.com. Register. Bad. See that?
Whoa.
So now
That's pretty quick, too.
that's simply, oh yeah, it's instantaneous.
Yeah.
And you see that I tried, now we went a little bit over time because I'm trying to show you how this is done through code. And we don't often get into code here at Category 5, but I want you to understand a little bit about how that works.
I had a code last week.
Cast your questions. Get us at live at category5.tv. And of course, that code is going to be available for you for download on our website, category5.tv. It'll be in the show notes for episode number 278. You'll be able to download it as a zip file so that you can play around and sign up for an API key and add that to your own code as well. I think it's a fantastic thing, as I was mentioning through the interview, to be able to just kind of weed those out. And whether or not you allow people to register, here's the other thing. You don't have to block things just because it says they're from a 10-minute mailer. Maybe you just want to know about it. So you can set a little flag in the database, or you can send yourself an email as the administrator that says, hey, here's a registrant. It looks like they might be trying to pull one over on you because it's a 10-minute mailer. So check into it a little bit. Maybe it will bring up the anti-fraud score a little bit. Things along those lines, right? So it doesn't have to block. It's up to you what you do with the API. It's just giving you the opportunity to know, is it good or is it a 10-minute mailer?
Right, so it gives you the opportunity to loosen the screws a little bit or tighten them.
Exactly.
Got it.
So everybody, thank you so much for being with us tonight here at Category5.tv. Make sure you check us out online, www.category5.tv. We are on YouTube. Cat5.tv/YouTube gets you there.
And we want you to send us some postcards.
We love getting them.
Yeah.
Eric, it's been fun having you here.
It's been fun being here.
I think we covered everything. Don't forget to cast your ballots at cat5.tv/phone. We got that phone service to give you from Net Talk Duo.
You really need to tidy up your notebook. I've got chords for Joy to the World here. There's,
These are your notes.
Thanks to our team, Krista, Rachel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks to you, everybody. Get him off the set. And thanks to our special guest, Gerald Setz, as well. And find out more about his API, cat5.tv/badmail. All right, see you, everybody. Have a great week. Talk to you next Tuesday.
We hope you enjoyed the show. Category 5 TV broadcasts live from Barrie, Ontario, Canada every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. If you're watching this on demand or through cable TV, check out the local show times in your area at category5.tv and find out when you can watch live and interact in the community chat room. Category 5 is a production of Prodigy Digital Solutions and is licensed under Creative Commons Attribution 2.5 Canada. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.